Welcome to the Commander's Journey, a journey for new Commander players ready to uncover their hidden magic potential.
Welcome back. I'm Joel.
And I'm Alex.
And we got another hidden gems for you today. We got a few cards that we like to do these hidden gems. Some cards that are a little bit underrated or underplayed, but we think have a lot of cool value. It's kind of cheating because the first card's already up. This is our new format. Trying to make it a little simple for us, but also just so we can browse these cards with you guys. So are you excited for this?
Yeah, we got some interesting cards here today, and we actually, spoiler alert to everyone out there, this is the second time we recorded this. We recorded the whole thing, and then after we finished recording, we're like, oh no, we didn't record any video. And now that we're doing video, we're like, we get to re-record it again.
You are making me right now nervously check that our recording is going. Last day we recorded the whole thing, and we're like, oh wait, we only caught the audio, our video wasn't on. Awesome. But yeah, man, we try to really seek out good hidden gems. I know there's a lot of cards we talk back and forth, and so we only talk about a few. They make our list because we feel like A, they're probably underplayed, and B, they're probably a little bit undervalued, but could have cool little niche decks that you might put them in. Not necessarily big overpowered cards that you need to put in every deck, but it's like, this is that little card you play and everyone's like, what can you do? Oh, that's pretty cool, right?
Yes, exactly.
So let's get into it. Let's start with our first hidden gem. And I guess I'll go ahead and read this one. It's credit voucher. It's already been up on the screen. They can see it. It's too generic. An artifact. We should really get better at this intro thing. Like I should have another screen and swap to it. We'll work on that. Anyway, I really like the art on this. Really cool card. Older card. Artifact 2, tap it, sacrifice credit voucher, shuffle any number of cards from your hand into your library, then draw that many cards. This always reminds me of 5-card draw. I used to play with my grandpa. Yeah. Isn't it cool?
This is a great card, and it's fantastic. It's colorless.
Mm-hmm.
So blue is the only one who usually gets this kind of ability. This can go into any color. Your mono white deck can use this. Your Boros deck, any colors that are struggling, and those are the big ones that come to mind. But honestly, your black white deck might really want this, or your black red deck. There's a lot of things where this can be beneficial, and especially if you have a way to kind of abuse it and bring the artifact back or play it again. This starts getting really crazy really quickly, and it's nice and it's rather cheap. And I think we have a little hidden gem here.
Yeah, it's only like $1 or something. It's it's a card you wouldn't be mad at in even other colors. Like if you were in green or black and you have this, you're not mad at this card because it's really kind of a cool little reset. It's kind of funny now that we're recording this after Kaldheim's all spoiled, right? And the whole way we foretell and put something aside, right? This is almost kind of a similar flavor. It's like you play 2, and then later on down the road, you're like, oh, I'm going to play 2 sacrifices and take, I got 7 cards. I'm going to shuffle 4 out and find 4 more cards. Like, it's just value later on. And but like you said, in white or other colors, I think finds way more value.
Oh, they definitely need it, and so it's a nice little hidden gem for your mono white decks, your mono reds.
In mono reds, mono whites, and I ain't mad if I got it in some other colored decks too. Although there's a lot better card draw in blue and green and even black. But here we go. And the next one, you want to take this bad boy?
Sure. Only reason I'm not entirely sure, Joel, is what card's going to be next, and I don't 100% know. But I'm going to make a flash.
Once you say it, I will click on it, and that'll be the one.
We were much better about this the first time. The new card I'm guessing that Joel will bring up here is Cleansing Meditation.
That's the one.
It's 1 white and a white for a sorcery. It says destroy all enchantments and has threshold. Instead, destroy all enchantments, then return to play. All cards in your graveyard destroy this way. So, and thresholds if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, so this is really nice in that you can destroy all enchantments on play, which is sometimes a very nice effect in of itself. And then on top of it, if you happen to have a decent sized graveyard, you get to put them right all back into play. So it becomes a one-sided enchantment removal effect, which is just fantastic. And I think you found this one too, Joel.
Yeah, I was just online looking around. People were talking about this card not a lot of people, but there was a few spots I'm like, wait, this is really good. Like if I'm going to put Return to Dust or any other enchantment or artifact type removal in my deck, why am I not putting this card, Cleansing Meditation, in my deck, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's one-sided, and especially in Commander, you know, this is going to get rid of multiple enchantments that multiples of your your opponents have. So I mean, it could be very valuable. Yeah, and that threshold isn't super hard. I mean, you're going to get to that point. So again, like in Commander, it's not like, oh, I'm going to definitely play this turn 3, 4, 5 or whatever, but it's like down the road, turn 6, 7, 8, when you're in a game of Commander, you know, there's always a nasty enchantment out there. And even if you're just hitting 1 or 2, but the fact that you just bring yours right back, it's like, yeah, I love the one-sidedness of it all.
Yeah, and I really like it in a heavy graveyard deck where you can pretty much guarantee that threshold. I like it less in another type of game where you might not necessarily get there every time, though I will say, usually by near the end of the game, when this probably will actually do the most, likely you'll be at 7. So it's not like crazy hard to hit, but it's definitely an include in a heavy graveyard deck. But if I'm not playing graveyard deck, I'm really more on the fence about it.
Yeah.
But especially in the graveyard deck, this is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's good. Even if you can't reach all those like little things, you're just destroying enchantments. You need that sometimes. And at 3, it's a good cost. I've seen people talking about this card in combination with, I pulled it up real quick, Enchanted Evening, which basically makes all permanents enchantments. So that's really nasty, because if you do play that and you're in blue and white in Commander, you have Enchanted Evening out, and then you play Cleansing Meditation, what's really nice is you basically it's what's that card? You're Cyclonic Rifting the entire table.
Yes, and look out for that wording too, because it will, if things are an enchantment, when it destroys them, it doesn't check in the graveyard if they're enchantment or not. It just checks that what was destroyed by this card comes back into play. So you can get around that wording with the downside of Enchanted Evening.
It's pretty fun. Cleansing Meditation. It's a good card. Definitely consider it. Like Alex was saying, if you're playing heavy graveyard, if you're playing, you just want you want other removal. Maybe you got that spell. It's just like remove an enchantment or 2, and you're like, I know my play group plays a lot of enchantments. I'd rather just blow up all the enchantments for 3.
That's a good choice.
All right, and then the last one. This is a card again. Like I think I mentioned it, but you were like, when I was building the deck, you were like, Joel, you need to put this card in your deck. I'm like, oh yeah, this card.
No, you were the one, I think, who pointed at this card and said, hey, what do you think of this card? And I looked at it, and I did like a double, triple take, and I said, this is a fantastic card, Joel. Holy cow. And then honestly, and we've done a couple deck techs where I've thrown this card in. This card just looks better and better and better. God.
So basically, if you're not in red, you want to have a Crashing Drawbridge in your deck. It's 2 generic for an artifact creature wall with Defender. And you tap it, and creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. It's a 0/4. So the 0/4 creature Defender is nothing to scoff at either. I mean, it makes it a little more vulnerable, but you have a little bit of blocker. But the fact that you can get haste in any color with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the real appeal here. I have used it as a couple things to help out with win conditions. It can be very nice, just kind of sneakily have a haste ability out there. You can do a kind of crazy combination where you can play, let's say a Swiftfoot Boots or a Lightning Greaves, attach it to your Crashing Drawbridge you just played. That has haste now, so you can tap it and give everything haste. So for a sneak attack. But honestly, any artifact deck that is not red, throw this in. Any heavy creature deck that is going to play a lot of creatures in one turn, would like to win the game that turn, throw this in. I have found room for this card in about 2 or 3 decks that we've built. And honestly, I even have 1 or 2 in person that I've thrown it in and just to test it out, and I really like it in the deck. So this is really this is a sleeper. This is a hidden gem here. Don't underestimate it because it's a common. It is a colorless haste enabler for your whole team.
Yeah, and it's great. In Commander, there's a lot of decks that just want to make a lot of tokens and then swing in, right? You want to make a bunch of fairies in one turn. You want to make a bunch of something in one turn, and it's like, Maybe you got landfall going on, right?
Yeah.
And you're not in red, but you got landfall going on, and it's like, because I got like a Golgari landfall deck. I play online sometimes. It's like this thing just if you're gonna make a ton of things, you make a bunch of scoot swarms. Guess what? You don't got to wait the next turn.
Yeah.
to swing in with all of them if you got the crashing drawbridge out. And I've actually, I've done that where I've been online playing Brawl. And like I made a bunch of scoot swarms. Like, dude, look at this big army. I just gotta wait for one more turn, and before I can get to my turn, he board wipes me. I'm like, yeah. I wish I had the crash and drawbridge out. Not even sure if it's there online. Haven't even looked to stick it in my deck. But this, I should be looking, because this one card could like make that big difference, like you said.
Yeah, in an artifact deck, I know you have it in your Alayla deck, Joel. Yeah. Artifact deck, this is perfect, and again, and all this without red, mind you, but that's still a lot of decks. I have it in a go wide small creatures deck that's Bant. I have a crashing drawbridge in the deck. I have another deck that is a more of a token deck that takes advantage of crashing drawbridge, because same thing, it doesn't have red. I think that one is I'm spacing on the name of it. I think it's Simic. Simic. Sorry, I don't want to come up with the word Simic, but it's a Simic deck, right? And then you're kind of sitting there going like, it's fantastic in all these decks that just the only requirement is that they don't have red, because the red has better ways to do it. But other than that, this is really it's a fantastic card. Primal Surge decks, you can win on the turn you play the Primal Surge with the crashing drawbridge. I mean, there's a lot of little.
That new Simic Serpent from Kaldheim makes a ton of serpents on everybody's turn. It's making serpents like this is going to let you utilize those right away. Anytime you're making a bunch of stuff and you need to swing in and you're not in red. So, exactly. Yeah. I mean, is it going to slowly creep up? It hasn't. I mean,
it's a common, so it can never really creep up that same way too. But that's also why it gets overlooked, is because it's a common. Who really cares? Yeah. But at the same time, it obviously gets in a little bit, because it's still a little on the higher side for a common. But I have not seen this outside our little play group, Joel. I haven't seen people talking about it. And this is really a fabulous card. And honest, if you have deck you might like it in, you think you might, just play a game or two where you actually get it out. See how much you like it, because I found I liked it quite a bit, and it became really a win condition in the deck.
It might depend on people's meta too. Like for us, I feel like we play a lot more. We play EDH in a casual where we're low to the ground. I call it kind of a synergistic slap you in the face kind of way. Like we like to play a lot of synergy, a lot of slapping. We don't like to play huge, big, splashy combos, or like, let me go search out this one card and just do this incredible huge thing. That's not the way we really play. We like to play set it up, and then have a bunch of big things, do a bunch of cool stuff. All synergy usually. So crashing drawbridge, there you go. Those are the three. Those are the three. So credit voucher, go ahead and play a game of 5-card draw in Magic. Cleansing meditation, destroy those enchantments, and if you happen to be able to, go ahead and get all your enchantments back. And then crashing drawbridge, really awesome haste enabler if you're not in red. And you really need haste. There you go.
No, it's absolutely fabulous. And hopefully these are actually useful to you guys. Our last hidden gems, people seem to like it, so we got a few more on the way, and hopefully you guys can take advantage of these and really find some good homes for them.
Yeah, so now we got to figure out another really good 3 for the next time we do this.
I'm looking forward to it, Joe.
It'll be a fun challenge. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. And if you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up, a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. It helps us. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, and same thing. We'll have a TCG affiliate link down in the comments. If you're thinking about getting some new cards from Kaldheim or any of the hidden gems we talked about, we appreciate it if you use our affiliate code, just if you're interested. But we're a small channel. It really helps us out. Trust me, we get all excited whenever just anything happens on it.
Yeah, right now it's just for the pure moral support. You know, we get a little bit of kickback, but not really. But we're
no, not really. It's a little bit, but not really.
But yeah. Leave us a comment if you have suggestions, or any good suggestions for us. But yeah, we really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time.
See ya.